Hey guys, good morning. Can you hear me? Sorry for all the disconnection sounds. I forgot that I still had my mic plugged into my computer instead of Mike's from a call the other day. And I had to reconnect it and then be like, shit, where do I put the settings in to make it work with OBS? Yeah, you guys can hear me? That's awesome. Good morning. Happy Monday. We have gone all the way through the weekend and come out the other side. Like a poo stick being thrown under a bridge. Probably only people from England will get that reference. Does anyone else know what poo sticks are? They're not what they sound like. How was my weekend? It was okay, thanks. The first day I was hoping it would be a productive weekend, and Saturday wasn't really all that productive, but Sunday was good. Sunday was a good day. How about you guys? How was your weekend? Alex knows what poo sticks are. I know you know because you spelled it correctly. Pokey says, had a super productive weekend. I got lots of jobs done. That's awesome. Yes. Get it. Get them jobs done. Can't believe we're at the beginning of another week. It begin again. Hey, pal. Oh, that's Doig, yeah! Hey, Doig. Good morning. How's it going? You got anything to report? Cornelia says my whole weekend wasn't really that productive, but I had a good bike ride yesterday, though. That's cool. I mean, weekends don't have to be productive, right? I wanted mine to be, but in general, I think the idea with weekends is if you are not productive, it's a good thing. I have designs on my weekends, you know. I have designs. I want to do things that are going to further nefarious plans. Doig woke up, that's about it so far. What are you up to today, Doig? Shnu says very sleepy, lazy weekend, no regrets. That sounds great. I wish I could have gotten a little bit more sleep yesterday. I went to bed at a reasonable time and everything. I couldn't, like, I had the body is awake syndrome. I couldn't get to sleep. Doig says I made friends with my mum's dog. This might have repercussions. She's very excitable and won't leave me alone now. Oh, that's really sweet. You're gonna come back smelling of dog, and the cat's gonna freak out. She want pats all the time. Oh yeah, because you're back home now, aren't you? You're no longer at the place where the graduation was. When you're in a Pokemon Center but you're really sleepy. That's what this song sounds like. You're in Scotland now! You're in Scotland! What are you gonna do while you're there? What are you doing, Doig? You're just gonna relax and chill? Did you take the Switch with you? I haven't looked. Here's something. I'm getting a little worried about Sparrow's obsession with the tap. It's all she wants. She doesn't care about anything else. Like, she'll come and she'll wake me up, and then rather than run through to get fed, she'll run to the tap. And they've got water, even though Sparrow continually knocks over the mug now. Just continually. Well, wait a second. Pal says my family commissioned cake makers recreate my animata drawing on my birthday cake. What? What? Oh my gosh! That looks so cool! Okay, hold on. I gotta share my screen now. And this better not show anything that it's not meant to. Fucking swear! Fucking swear! Okay, let's try. I think this is the right button. Okay, that didn't work. Maybe because it's tied to the overlay. Maybe this is the button? No, that doesn't want to work either. Okay. That's fine. I'll just go over and do it manually. There we go. Look at this! Look how cool this is! Look at this! Ah! Damn! That looks so tasty. Oh, that buttercream. Oh, make me want cake. Hey, Onster! Onster! Ooh, vanilla cake. Oh, amazing. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Your mum's a sweetheart. What an amazing cake. I like how the shack explodes as soon as Onster's in the house. Like, Onster! Scrungle, 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 scrungle. Everyone scrungles all over the room for like 10 minutes before they settle down again. Onster! Oh, 357 Sneak says, wanted to say hi to you all before returning to bed. Have a lovely stream, everyone. Have a lovely bed, 357 Sneak. Hello, Eric. So what are we doing today? Well, guess what? The theme got announced for the I don't know what you'd call it, tri-monthly? I don't know, for the every now and then Pirate Software Game Jam. The Game Jam theme is here! The Game Jam theme! The Game Jam theme! The theme is here, it's Game Jam. So I was gonna do some Game Jam stinking thinking. And, you know, it's great to do it in the morning where I can spend an hour or two on it before I go into work. It's also great to have a chat where you guys could be like, India, that's a dumb idea, and slap things out of my hands. Or be like, oh, I like that idea. And then I can be like, oh, good. I'll keep going with this one. It's time for some Redacted and Swift. It sure is. Doig's left me. I think he's going to get breakfast or something. If he was here, he for sure would have responded to me talking about Spyro scrambling around the tap. Let's kill that idea. Let's murder it. Okay, let's see. So, the theme. The theme. The theme? The theme. The theme. This is the theme! Unusual magic!
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Sparrow Tap, new band name idea. Are you just saying that to prove that you're still here, Dorg? Dorg has abandoned me for the slime. So yeah, unusual magic is the theme. So Thor was saying it can either be like the magic itself is unusual, or you're incorporating it into your game in an unusual way. Now, as I said last week, I am tempted to design this as more of kind of like a board game or an RPG system than I am a video game, because I feel that the programming is going to take me too much time to do for anything I want to do, as I don't really feel like I have time just in the mornings over 1 week to build something. I'm making a game, yeah, I sure am. Back on my bullshit, Dorg. I had an idea for this theme a bit ago. I know what you mean, I think. So I had an idea a little bit ago for a witch character. It'll be like a side scroller, right? And it'd be enemy, and you'd have like a health bar. And you'd want to get to the end of the stage, right? So you would use your wand to like blast the enemies. But whenever you did, the mana pool would come out of your health bar. So you'd like have to manage your health to get to the end of the level. You know, the larger game, if I was ever going to make it, would be like a message about pacifism in a kind of Undertale-ish way, but purely through game mechanics rather than through any kind of dialogue. You know, because as you destroy enemies and get to the end of levels, you level up, and when you level up you get a larger health pool, which makes it easier for you to cast magic without it being as detrimental to your health. So you kind of harden up as you go through. But as you harden up, I was going to have that have an effect on your appearance as well. Oh no, the enemy is cute! Is that a magical Trevor? He's ever so clever. This would apply. So this is like, this would be an actual video game. This is one idea that could apply. Which would be health is magic. I should put this on its own layer, so each idea has a layer. And then I can also shrink it down without destroying it. There we go. Now we have a little idea over there. Just a little guy. Yeah, Toby Kofi says, I would advise you to keep the scope as small as possible. Yes, exactly. Which is why, even though health is magic, I think is a fun idea, I don't know how much I'd be able to build in the week. I think probably what I'd manage to be able to do would be to maybe get a character moving and maybe get an enemy, but I don't know if I'd be able to get the sorry if you guys can hear the cat in the litter tray. She's going buck wild in there. But I don't know if I'd be able to get the, if you cast magic it takes your health bar down, because I've only got an hour to 2 hours in the morning every day, and that's me learning to do things as well as doing things. So not only is it me actually writing the programming and troubleshooting it, but it's me watching the tutorials to learn how to do the thing. So I feel like anything which is going to require actual programming, I'm going to have a problem with. Captain Photon says, I had a magical idea, but it sounds goofy when I say it out loud. But Sandwich Mancer. I mean, that's pretty good. Let's have a look. So, Sandwich Mancer. To me, that would be a game about assembling sandwiches, right? But they would have like weird ingredients and you'd be assembling them kind of like with your mind floating. So I'm imagining something like Doig's little badges that he's made for people who subscribe. You know, maybe it's something like you have a bunch of ingredients, you know, like the slimes and stuff, and the unicorn horn. And rather than requesting, like in Overcooked, rather than requesting, oh, I need this sandwich with these ingredients, instead the requests are like, I need this sandwich that does this magical effect. And you have to try and figure out what combination of things are going to make that magical effect and send that sandwich off. And as you create the sandwiches, you learn more about what the effects are that things have. So you might have a unicorn horn and have never used it before, and then you put it in a sandwich and the sandwich like incinerates the person who eats it. And then after that's happened, you get a little thing which says explosive underneath the unicorn horn. Did I notice? What? What? What happened? Stream offline. Oh no, what? Am I back? Wait. I went, oh. Oh no! From when? From when? Am I accidentally using Dropbox? I'm not. I could check Doig's computer and see if he's using Dropbox. I'm not though. Can you guys hear me? You missed all the Sandwich Mancer explanation. Ah, poops. So I was saying, the way that I saw Sandwich Mancer was kind of like Overcooked, where you get requests coming in, right, for what sandwich they want. But rather than requesting a bunch of ingredients like, oh, I want a burger with cheese, they're like, I want a burger that can make me fly. And then it's up to you to use the right combination of ingredients to make the burger that's going to make that happen. And maybe when you first are using the ingredients, you don't know what they do. But if you use a unicorn horn and the person explodes, then explosive appears underneath the unicorn horn. So you like learn the properties as you go. So that's the Sandwich Mancer explanation. So you would have like a little inventory of items that you could use. So make magic sandwiches. Customers ask for magic effects. Now again, this is way too big. My idea that I came up with is way too big. Learn what properties ingredients have. I need to scale back my brain as we go. Like, the other idea in chat was that you would eat magic sandwiches and then therefore have magic toots. Which is definitely something you could do. Or eat magic sandwich. I'm just gonna call it Sammy because it's easy to write. Get magic toot. So in that version, you would be the one who would receive the effects. Magic of toots sound pretty good. So Sandwich Mancer is also an idea that we could run with. We could do something. I'm gonna find out. Whoa! 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 Okay, we're back. What's happening? 3 streams in a day. What happened? I don't know. Hold on. I'm gonna go and check Doe's computer and check there's like no Dropbox or anything on. Okay, I've been around and I've checked a bunch of stuff, and Doe's computer did have Dropbox on for some reason. I don't know why. I've literally just left Doe's computer exactly as it was when he left. I'm scared to touch anything. I'm scared that if I restart his computer, then I won't know won't know what to open again to the stream. Because he's got a bunch of stuff. Every time the notification bell rings, a sonic worm gets its wings. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. For people who don't know, I went and scrungled around on Barry's stream with Onster and Barry and the Drawfee folks, and it was really, really fun. We did some Gartic phone. I'm excited for Barry's VOD to go up so I can link people to it. It was so fun. I'm giving evil eyes to Doe's computer right now and being like, don't you go offline again. I swear. Onster, your art was so strong. Everyone's art was so strong. Barry was on fire too. Like, I think everyone was just super chaotic that day. So it was I had so much fun. I said to Onster, but when I left the stream I had a headache by the end of it because I was laughing so much. Aw, Doig has sent me a picture of the dog. That's very cute. Can I share that, Doig? My blind top-down drawing, though, I wish it looked a little better. Like, I wanted the cactuses to look more like cactuses and the birds to look more like birds, but you know what? Jacob could tell what it was, so... Everyone was electric. It was so fun. It feels like this stream is stable now, but last time it went for 5 minutes and then stopped, and we're at like 3 minutes now. Yeah, I can share. Okay, cool. I'm gonna pop up a picture of Doug's mum's dog. Here you go, everyone. There they are! What's her name again, Doig? Buppy. There's penguins in the background. Yeah! Harley. Yeah, so cute. She's lovely. She's very like, give me affection, give me love. Okay, so let me try and tell you guys what my idea is for Unusual Magic and see if the stream will let me do it. So what I was thinking was it might be kind of fun to mix spell casting with Scrabble. So in my head, you would have a little map, kind of like in a D&D campaign. You'd have a little map. This is me drawing the little map. You know? And it'd be like enemies to defeat. We're just gonna always use for slime as an enemy because it's just like easy to draw. And then you would have your little character. And what you would do is you would combine this with Scrabble. So this would be like a little tabletop thing. So you'd have like your 7 letters that you'd fished from the Scrabble bag, or as we probably call them, like runes or something. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I don't know, maybe like something like that. Atogris. And then you'd have to spell your spells to do it. So you would have, maybe we'd do like cards or something as well, where it'd be like you know how we have like cone of cold? You'd have like cone of, and then maybe another card that you would have. Would be like change into, and then maybe another card you'd have would be like I don't know, like an area effect, like I don't know, I'll just put area effect for now, but like something like you could throw onto the floor or something. Martina says looks complicated. Maybe. I mean, to me, it feels it feels simple in a way, where it's like, okay, I have, 4 cards, and I have a Scrabble bag that I'm going to pick the pieces out of, and then, because you could play this cooperatively as well. You could have 2 people playing together to clear a dungeon, and then it'd be up to you to use your Scrabble pieces to try and figure out, oh, this wouldn't be programmed, pal, this would be on paper. So this would just be, you would have literal Scrabble pieces and pieces of paper. So say I wanted to cast a cone of something, I'd have to use my Scrabble pieces to figure out what kind of spell I wanted to do. I could do change into goat. I could do that. I could do cone of... This is me being bad at Scrabble. Change into stag, I could do that too. All I'm getting are animals! Goat is all I'm coming up with right now. Cone of goat is pretty good. Gatto. We could do change it into goat. And then the enemy would change into like a harmless goat. That means you no harm. And it would essentially be you moving through the dungeon that way. But one of the things I thought would be kind of fun is Cone of Crow. That's pretty good. Cone of Crow. It's just a bunch of crows. One thing that I thought would be fun is like, not only is it relying on the player's creativity, but the players themselves will be kind of almost DMing it. So it'd be up to kind of their imagination and how they want to rule the game. But if you do something like Cone of Goat, so you use these letters, just like in Scrabble, those letters would then be used and you'd go back into a room bag and get 4 more, so that you always have 7 in hand. And also, the amount of points you would get for using that would be the damage that you would deal to the enemy. So, say that has 10 HP, you would need your teammate then to come in and help you out. Or if they had 5 HP, they'd be like, poof, gone. And maybe they are guarding a little treasure chest. This is a chest. That you can then get. So I guess each stage would have like an entrance and an exit. And the exit might require you to pick up keys or something. Or it might require you just to get to it. But if you want to find other stuff in the room, then you can. And what could be in the chest could be like... like a tile with a letter on it. And then you can have a pool of just like loot at the top that you can pull from at any time. So either you or your teammate at any time can just be like, we have a D and an E in the pool. I'm going to pull the E to use with my word. Doisco says you could have a deck of cards that are dungeon map squares. Yeah, that'd be fun, and then you deal them out. So you have like a starter square, and then you have an end square. So like this is exit. And then in between those, you can have like 7 cards or something in any assortment you want. And as you go through, you can like increase the number of those, and you can arrange them together. You could take turns drawing them and placing them down. How tall is Doug compared to Kiryu? There we go. So that would basically be it. It's a cooperative dungeon crawl. And maybe you could do stuff like if one player casts oil in an area and it coats like 4 squares and you cast fire, you know, maybe you get a bonus for working together or something. Doig is big. Yeah, so we could either have them... Yeah, that makes sense. So the majority of the cards would be blank. I guess the problem is, what if you end up drawing only blanks? Or what if you end up drawing like a bunch of enemy cards and you can't get past them? You could also do a thing where you draw cards which just kind of determine the terrain or something. And then you like have to put a certain number of enemies or chests depending on how many terrain cards you have out. But I think maybe that has the problem that you would need to place them, because if the players are placing the items, then you would just place the key in front of you and you'd be like, oh, I got it. I wonder if you should also spend your Scrabble tiles to move. Do you think? Because they have numbers on them. And of course you could spend a turn just getting a completely new bunch of tiles if you're stuck. Could you burn a card to substitute for a wild letter or something? You have too many cards you can't use. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Maybe we should just have like a maximum hand size for the cards. So just like you can, if you want, you can choose to refresh your tile set. So you can refresh your Scrabble tiles or your runes. You can choose to draw a card and discard one in its place. Let's see. Pilky says, so from purely a game mechanic point of view, does the word you make actually have any impact within the length, causing damage? Yeah, because you have different effects, right? Well, I'm thinking about it now that you've said it. Because even the oil idea, where it's like, okay, I'll put oil on the floor and this will damage 2 enemies at once, because if I put oil on the floor and my teammate ignites it, then those 4 tiles covered in oil are going to all ignite and we'll get 2 enemies. But even that comes down to causing damage in the end. So yeah, I think causing damage is pretty much the only thing, unless you want to get really weird with it and be like, you can change yourself into different things. So yeah, it's literally just like clearing the dungeon, but you're trying to do it in creative ways. Let's see. So damage is one thing you can do with spells. Maybe we should see if we can think of some more creative things to do with them too. To kind of reward creativity. Because we don't want to just reward word length. Thing is, it has to make sense, you know? I feel like you can't just do like explosion of xylophone or something because you're like, oh, well, that'll give me a bunch of damage because it's a, you know, big word. It's like, the properties of the word you choose have to kind of match with the card you're using. Because otherwise you could literally just put anything in anything and it wouldn't matter what cards you use with your Scrabble tiles, right? Ben says I've had a game jam idea which I really like, which has annoyed me because I'm not supposed to be partaking in a jam this week. I got work to do. Oh, but Ben! Just a little jam! You could do just a little jam. Yeah, Pilkey says it's more a case of who's making sure there aren't any shenanigans like area effect win, I win. I think it would have to be like, the words you make have to be nouns or verbs depending on what card you're using. And win isn't really a verb that I think would be legal. No! No! Oh, we're back. Hi. No! Did you guys hear the cool idea about the key? I basically said that probably you'd have to limit what words people can use to nouns. Or maybe for some cards you could have verbs, but I think win wouldn't be legal. However, you probably could do something like change into key and just transmit your enemy into a key, and then you're like, I did it. You got the key to the door. I don't need to go and get the actual key. I've just changed this enemy into a key instead. And now I'm going to unlock the door with them. Have a nice walk, Pilkey. I think this sounds fun. I feel like as soon as we start to try and play test this is gonna just fucking go out of the window. It's gonna be so bad. Ben says, I wonder if this game would be better with a DM that interprets the rules. If you had a DM, then I think it would be fun. Tell me what you think of this, okay? So, I'm gonna put this in a group, since this is all the one idea. For a sec. I kind of want a little isometric map, but for now I'll just do one for a book. Okay. So say this is your map. And we could just give players like a bunch of like base shapes to use as their maps. Oops. Got a little weird at the end there, but say this is your map, okay? If you were going to have a DM, gonna merge all these together. Something which I think would be kind of fun to do would be to take it in turns, with the DM placing monsters and people placing items. So it'd be like, okay, this is the exit card, or this is the exit to the dungeon, and this is where you start. And you could maybe say that there's like a starting area or something, and players aren't allowed to place items in the starting area. but they can place items anywhere else. So then players would have items like, oh, I got the key, and we got a chest, you know? And then the DM's like, okay, for a map this size, I get 3 monsters. Or maybe I get like 2 monsters. Let's make it 3. And like a spike pit. Right, and then they would take it in turns to place. So the players might be like, oh man, I'm gonna stick the key right here where I can get to it super easy. And then the DM's like, okay, well, I'm gonna put a spike pit right here. And then the players are like, okay, well, I'm gonna put a chest. Imagine if this happened though. Like, this is the problem with placing things, isn't it? It's like, what if they're just all clustered together in like an absolute hellscape of just enemies and items all clustered together in one tiny place. No, I guess it would make more sense to just give people layouts that you pre-make so that this can't happen. Although, I mean, if you make your own hell, it's maybe fair that you have to live in it. So, at the minute, I don't think enemies really do damage. They're just kind of like obstacles that you have to get past, and maybe some of them have different properties, like they're immune to certain things. Like, cannot be transformed, or, you know, weak to fire or something. Deutscher says, I think RNG plays cards face down and maybe suggested or improvised layouts. Yeah, okay. Pal says, yes, Doig's idea. Let me scroll up so I can see it. I would incorporate line of sight and fog of war of players turning over cards. Ooh! Doig! That's really fun! Doig says, fog of war. Line of sight. That means you don't need a DM. Because no one's gonna know what the cards are. I think what you'd have to do then is maybe you'd have to say like every 4th card you place is an event card, and event cards are like monsters or chests or keys or something. So cool. Kezek says, Mishka's doing alright. She came out of her carry with sweaty paws when we finally got to the new place though. Poor thing. Aww. I have a friend who recently moved to LA from Europe, and they and their cat just like arrived the other day, and their cat had to go with them on this like 11-hour flight. But it sounds like everything went fine, so I'm really happy about that. I'd be so scared. Like, our cats get so scared spending an hour and a half in a car. Hey guys, so Doig's microphone is working, but mine isn't. Is that an echo? Can I hear an echo? will take it. I can't sit over here and draw at the same time. Oh no. What am I gonna do? No echo. Okay, cool. Maybe I'm just hearing myself in Doig's headphone? I hope that this will work now. Are they muted on Stream Deck? Stream Deck. How do I get to Stream Deck? I mean, they're not muted on Voice Meter Potato. I only got one working. I got yours working. But I can't get mine working. Fortunately, I don't know why. Oh, the Elgato Stream Deck. It says I have to sign in. But it says sign into Twitter, so I don't know if it's working or not. I mean, they shouldn't be muted on the Steam Deck because they're not muted in OBS. Oh, ignore those. Okay. We just want to jam some games, OBS. What the heck? I don't know how I'm gonna draw anything if I can't sit on my computer. Hold on. I've currently got the mics. Oh! Swift microphone is working! What the heck? It started working! Aha! Aha! Oh, you guys can still hear me? Echo now. I was talking to two mics at the same time. Okay, we're back, baby! 1, 2, 3, let's jam! Anyway, Doig, from like 15 minutes ago, I think this is a good idea. Does that mean it was working all along? No, it really wasn't. It really, really wasn't. If you were here, then you'd believe me. But since you're not here, you won't believe me. I've learned this. Fanax says, speaking of which, what are we doing today specifically? We are trying to make a game based around the concept of unusual magic. So, the new way that we're thinking that we're going to do the terrain, because we're doing a kind of, well, what I'm playing with the idea of right now is a kind of wizardy dungeon crawl that you can play cooperatively with people. Where's the bird and bear? I can't do them while Doig's away, I'm sorry. I would have to boot up Unity. And then I'd have to press play on the game, I think. And then I'm not sure how to fix or adjust anything if anything goes wrong. So I thought it'd be safer to just not. So maybe this kind of thing is what you might get. We'd have to figure out some way to make the terrain on the cards exciting. You know? Because otherwise it's just going to be like a straight path, which isn't very exciting. You know, like, how would you do stuff like have branching things off to the side if it's cards? Because if you deal a card next to this one, it might not have any way to pass between the two. Doig is out at sea. This is my question. Maybe we should see how other people have done similar things, because there must be one where you flip cards to reveal a map or something. Like, it has to be some kind of game where, like, your dungeon itself is on cards that you flip or something. I can't find any. Oh wait, there are some here, but they're like... Oh, they're entirely... They have the entire dungeon on one card. So if I get this image open for you guys, this is how the ones that currently exist work. Yeah, because unless you know what's going to be on them before you deal them, you're pretty much just going to have to do them like this. Just one long corridor of cards. Because if you put any next to them to create a bit more of an interesting dungeon, there's no guarantee that the terrain of those two are going to line up. Have I seen Catan before that has land cards? Let me have a look at some Catan land cards. Catan land cards. I'm not seeing any. Hold on. There must be somewhere. Do you mean like this? I guess one way to do it is, rather than needing it to be like this kind of thing, where these two would have to line up, and they wouldn't be able to if you couldn't see what the cards were and they were all random. It's maybe to have something more like each card is going to have X many tiles on it. And that way it's going to just auto hook up. And I guess to make it more fun, some of those could be blanked out. Like this. So we have like a slightly cooler shaped dungeon. Or something. That could work. And then on that you could have you know, enemy squares where you know enemies are going to be. So far enemies are really just obstacles, We don't really have a way for the players to die. Do we want a way for the players to die in this? What do you think to this kind of map system, Doig? So let's just add in some X's where enemies might be. Or items. And then you would have like a start card where you always start, and an exit card where you always end the dungeon. You like it? I'm going to just rewrite this because I want to make it a bit clearer. I like the flipping cards because that, to me, that replicates the feeling of exploration. Oops. Yeah. The player dies by giving up. Value should always be an option. What if players play dungeon cards in their turn, arranging them face down? Number of cards based on their played word. I'm not sure what you mean, Doig. Do you mean that if they play a word in the current dungeon tile they're on, then at the end of their turn they get to put down extra cards to the side in front of them or something? What about square cards that can be rotated to configure in different ways? That's a good idea, Fnac. There's no reason they can't be square. I wonder if you could do something like, if you have a terrain effect, I wonder if one of your terrain effects would be rotate. Like, get me to that exit faster. Princess Pumpkin Pie says, what if they're in a line and when a branching path is flipped, it's put to either side and the next cards are moved down the line? Let me try and wrap my head around that. So, you're flipping cards in a line and then you come across one which is like that. And then you haven't flipped to this one yet. When a branching path is flipped, it's put to either side. So would this be put to either side? Or you? Play cards at the end to reveal more dungeon. I'm not sure about basing it on the number of things you've played, because if you score like a 30-word point, then how many cards do you put down? Like 1 for every 10 or something? Yeah, they would have tokens. Or in our case, little paper cutouts. So far I've just been using a little triangle wizard. Oh, that's true. I don't have triple word scores. Though maybe we should put them on there. Like if you cast from this position, you get a double word score. That's kind of neat. That's dumb. I like it. But it does bring into question like whether where you cast from matters. Make them chest rewards. Oh, so things you can choose to use. I don't know if I like it being something you can just choose to use. It feels too easy to me. To be able to just be like, ah, this one does double damage. It should matter where they cast from. Yeah, I feel like, unless you explicitly have a card which is like Cone of, you know, where I feel like it should maybe do that kind of area of effect. I feel like you should need to be next to what you're casting on for it to work. Right? Like, maybe the player token will be just something like this to show which way they're facing. Which way they are facing! Would enemies also benefit from triple word tiles? Well, that would only make sense if enemies are also scrabbling, which only makes sense if the dungeon master exists and is going to scrabble you back. This is one thing we haven't decided yet, is how damage will be dealt, if damage is dealt, and whether we have like a health bar or something. Let's see. Appin Terracotta says, terrain effect, flip. Lets players see the unflipped cards by peeking into the void. Yeah, that's pretty good. Terrain effect, flip, and you can choose one. That'd be pretty rad. I like that. Princess Pumpkin Pie says, what if rewards have a time limit to how soon you can use it, like within a certain number of turns or tiles and it expires? That's a cool idea. I like that. I think it might overcomplicate the game a little bit because the game is already pretty... It's getting complex. So I want to keep it as simple as possible. I kind of like the idea of just having like triple word scores on certain tiles. So it's like you can only use it in certain circumstances. You know, because then you can deliberately place them on your map cards to be interesting. So it's like, okay, this one's right next to an enemy, but this one is across the map from an enemy, which means you have to either use a ranged attack or it's going to have to be used with some kind of terrain effect. So Speaking of terrain effects, I'm just gonna write down here where you are matters, or where you spell from, because that's what we're doing, right? And then terrain effects. I want you to make a little list because I like the ones where they subvert the game a little bit. So I like rotate or turn. I like flip / reveal. I suppose look would probably work as well, right? Or peek. Like, how do I spell peek like this? I think that's kind of fun. Oh, if your spell could cast over a boost tile, that'd be neat. So you mean like, if, say, we're casting a cone of cold, I'll just call it because that's a D&D thing, and this is a boost tile, then that would count because the area of effect that the spell is encompassing has that in it. Because I was thinking you'd have to cast from it for it to work. Tapping Torkoal says, Easter egg, if you spell a word the American way, a clown horn plays but move still works. Fnac says, idea feed. This kind of reminds me of Forbidden Island. It's a grid-like co-op board game where you have to travel across an island that's always sinking. The map is made of randomly placed tiles and you have to draw from a deck. Which card you draw determines which piece of the island sinks. So you'd have to talk to your team to figure out the best course of action to maneuver around the island to get treasure and escape. That sounds really fun, Fnac. I should get that game. That sounds fun. Let's see. Princess Pumpkin Pie says, what if the path builds like a domino train? Have a starting room with 3 exits with coloured paths and each new card has a coloured entrance on it. Then the question is how to reach a natural end. Oh, I see. So you're saying like the back of the card. This is the back of the card. Sorry, it's a different colour. I've now decided I'm going to fill it this colour. There we go. So you're saying the back of the card would probably have like... So you know where you're joining them? When you do it, you just don't know what's in the room, but you know how many exits and entrances it has. See. Princess Pumpkin Pie. Suggests. Exits marked on back cards. Yeah, I like the idea that something flips when you go into it. Although I guess you could go straight into an enemy. But maybe that's fine. Maybe if you go straight into an enemy, it's just like, oh, you've tried to walk into this tile and we flipped it. while you bounce back, and now you have an enemy in front of you that you have to attack or something. PC Encrypted, hello, we're trying to design a game. So far it's dumb. Dumb, but it could be fun. The problem is, to prototype this, I kind of need Scrabble. Oh yeah, we should work out the damage problem. Ooh, that could count as a surprise attack. Ooh. It'd be cool if the enemies do attack you, then that would be, I think, a good trigger for one to do so. Doixper says flip on whether you are placed next to an adjacent tile. Do you mean flip a coin? What do you mean? What do you mean? The card flip is one of my favourite parts about this. Because it feels like exploration. It's like, ooh, I want to see what's in there. Ooh. Maybe every now and then a card could have a rare legendary artifact. Several Pegbarians are really into Scrabble and would appreciate this game. I hope so, pal. We'll see. We'll see. I guess. But I think it could be fun. Alright, well, what do you guys think about damage? Because I'm in two minds about it, because if enemies are going to do damage, it feels like they either need to have a set amount that they do per turn, or we need a DM to Scrabble against you. Or they don't do damage but are an obstruction that you must get past. The problem is, I kind of want a boss at the end. Like, no dungeon crawl is complete really without a boss encounter. And I'm like, what could the boss be? Because if you don't have a DM against you, then what's going to make the boss encounter interesting? You know, because obstacles are all well and fun if you're just exploring and stuff. But if you have a boss, that implies that you have to be able to feel some level of threat. And I don't know how you're going to feel a level of threat if it's just stood there not doing anything. Don't attack my foot. No! 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 What's the tension? What if played words remain in the cards? That sounds complicated, Doig. I'm not sure how you do that. And players can combo off of played words. I need you here with me, Doig, to paper prototype this with me. Attacker! I think at the minute it makes more sense for the words that are cast to go back into the rune bag. Because you always want to be able to spend your turn pulling out more runes, right? I mean, I haven't actually stated this yet, but it'll be turn-based, this. So you would probably have, like, the players go, then the enemies go, then the players go, the enemies go. Or if the enemies don't go, you just have the players take turns. But there's no risk to... Okay, here's the thing. There's no risk to you spending a turn taking a new bunch of letters out of the bag if the enemies can't do damage to you. So there has to be a way for enemies to do damage to you. Even if that's just like a set amount per turn, if you're in their vicinity. Right? So... enemies have to attack. to make turns matter. Ergo, players must have health. Could the number of moves you have made affect your ability to fight the boss? I guess so. How do you know how many moves you've made, though? Health bar is how many letter tiles you can have. Ooh! Doig is here with the big brain. Doig is out here with the big brain. Ben, you chromailed your idea, do not steal. Come on everyone, let's go check out Ben's chromail and just steal his idea. This one's got too complicated, let's steal Ben's. Here's my jam idea. Using the magical power of himbo milk. I already hate this. I'm not stealing this idea. You can have it, Ben. The player can fly through the air. Did you mean himbo milk? Use the sliders to adjust the nozzle trajectories to fly around the environment or roll along the floor. Terrible diagram incoming. Oh my gosh, what is this? Why? Why? I mean, that does look fun though. Like, that mechanic looks fun. I'd play that. Heck yeah. Pursuing Cryptid says that adding flipping rooms kind of makes me think of a game my sister likes to play, Betrayal at House on the Hill. I haven't played myself, but it has a dynamic map based on what cards are drawn, I think. Oh, that's cool. Okay, these are things I should check out. I should check out Betrayal at House on Hill. What was the one that someone was talking about where the map sinks? There's also a zombie one which has tiles, I think, that I played before. Let's see, health bars, how many letter tiles you have is actually, I was just shouting himbo milk. Kira said ethically sourced himbo milk. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Health bars, how many tiles you can have is great. Let me add that. Doig says HB. HB, health bar! Why do they call it HP, health points, when you could call it HB, health bar? Is how many tiles you have. So to me, that says enemies should do just 1 damage. Because this is going to be a very hard game if they don't. This is going to be like, if you do Scrabble rules, which is you start with 7 tiles, then it's going to be a very difficult game if enemies can do more than 1 damage to you. It also makes me feel like enemies should have pretty low health at the beginning. Here's my issue, is that it's very punishing to lose a tile. It's very punishing to lose a tile. Maybe for every enemy you defeat, you get a tile back. Or something. Or we could have health potions that you can find. But still, like, okay. I'll show you what my issue is. My issue is, at the minute you can either move or you can attack on your turn. Which means you would move into enemy range to attack them. And then you wouldn't be able to attack. So the enemy would attack you. And then next turn you could attack it. And if you don't attack it in that turn, it attacks you again. And at that point you've lost 2 tiles. And you're going to have to go through like 10 cards of these. So it just seems too punishing. If you can move and attack in a turn, then you can move and attack. But then if you don't kill it in one go, it's going to attack back and you've lost a tile. And again, that's like, you have to go through 10 cards of potentially multiple enemies. So you're either going to need a way to recover those tiles, or we could have losing tiles when you die or something. Doiter says, yes it is, haha. Listen, it's meant to be challenging. Like, there's no way, you can't step into an enemy and then retreat. There's no like stepping in, attacking, then stepping back. There's only step in and attack so far. Or just step in one turn and attack on the other. Oh, Ben, we could do that. I was just throwing the tiles back into the bag immediately. Your wizards stay at range. Well, then what range is to attack? You know? You could have cool little things like slime enemies. I'm a slime. Can only attack like 1 tile in any of these directions, but they cannot attack diagonally. So you could potentially like stand here and just cheese this one if you can attack in 8 directions. Three-letter range is your square is 3 squares. I don't know, because then like if you have, I mean there's no way you'd ever have a 9-letter word, is there though? I don't know whether the range of a spell should depend on how many tiles are used to make the spell, or whether it should depend on the type of magic you're casting. For example, I like that Cone of Crows. Has like, okay, you can cast like this because it's a cone, or you can cast like this because it's a cone, because then it's like, oh, you could use a cone here, but you're gonna actually miss the enemy if you cast it from there. You need to cast it from here if you want to get the enemy in your cone. You know? Because if your range is 4, then does that mean 4 like this? Or can you choose to do 4 like this? Or can you do 4 like this? You'd multiply the type by word, rewarding the word. Multiply the type by word. I'm not sure what you mean. So if you got like a word score of 7, or you used 4 tiles to make it, what would that do to the cone? Working title, my words have power. Power words. I feel like it should be like spell good. Have you played Dicey Dungeons? I haven't. I should check that out. Okay, let me put that on the list. Dicey Dungeons. Yes, this is a word game, Doig. But I'm unclear what you mean and how that would affect it. Okay, so area of effect is square. So letters is 2 times 2 times 3 is 3 times... 2 times 2 times 3 is 3 times 3. 4 is 4 times 4. But 7 times 7, Doig, that would be a very large area of effect. Like, a huge area of effect. You put an extra X in there. I mean, I could see, like... It'd be a Scrabble. Yeah, but it would be like the entire map, basically. Say you get one 7-letter word at the beginning, you've cleared the entire map. No more point in playing. Doig says yes. Alright, I'll write this down, Doig, and we can play test it and see how it feels, okay? Because you never know how something's going to feel until you play test it. So I could be like, that sounds too powerful, and it could actually be awesome. So, I'll put a little Doig idea over here. That's a, looks like a chef hat, but it's meant to be a light bulb. There. Okay, area of effect. I need you here with me so we can jam on this together. This is fun. Is square times letters used. So use the example 2 letters equals 2 times 2 and so on. Like, what you're making me feel like is that... No, I like the word score. I like the letter scores though. You were making me think that maybe it would be better to just do number of letters used rather than using the Scrabble scores on the letters. Like, for example, how D is worth more points than A. Like, if you use the word dad, you know, that could do 3 damage and that would be more manageable. But I like the thought that you're not just trying to throw out any word for the number of letters that you use in it. I like the idea that you're trying to make a word with rarer letters. Oh my gosh, it's snowing! It's snowing so much! What the heck? Hold on, what the heck? Oh my gosh, it's snowing so much and Sparrow's staring at it and freaking out. It's really cute. You're like, what is that? What is that? Whoa, I did not expect that. The rain was a little light earlier, like it was a bit floaty. But I did not think it was gonna snow. Doig! If you were here, we could take the cats and see the snow! Ah! I won't take them to see the snow without you. That's an experience I want you to have with them too. See, so, Princess Pumpkin Pie says, maybe straight D&D rules and all spells and attacks have a set range and larger words deal more damage. Yeah, you see, you could just do the damage based on the number of letters you use, how big the word is. But I do really like the idea of you're being encouraged to use harder to use more unusual letters because they do more damage. So I think I'm going to keep that as it is for now. Take them if I want though. I mean, also I would be scared about taking both cats outside on my own. Like, I can just about manage one if you're managing the other. I might crack open a window for them a little bit though. Kira says, I'm about 100 plus miles north of you and I still want to check if it was snowing here too. I wish upon you snow. Isn't it great, Sparrow? She's so like, what the fuck? She really likes it. Well, I guess I should call the stream anyway, because it's 10:30. But I don't know. I think this, I think this could be fun. I think it could be fun. I'm kind of into our weird little dungeon card Scrabble game. We still haven't really figured out what to do about enemies. At the minute, the working idea is Doig's idea of if you get hit by an enemy, it does 1 damage and it reduces a Scrabble tile from your arsenal. Call it D&D with Scrabble tiles. I could. Dund. Dund. That'd be pretty good. I like that. I think end game for this game is TPK. Oh, you think you just keep going until you die? It's just like an endless dungeon crawler. And then your score at the end is like the number of map tiles you've passed through plus the number of legendary artifacts you've got or something. Oh, another idea. This is from Fnac. Oh, look at this. Here's another idea. Movement-based spells. You need to be able to move a certain number of spaces or in a certain pattern to cast a specific spell. So if the room is too crowded, you can't cast a certain powerful spell. Oh, interesting. 4-space cast. Oh, I like this. This 4-space cast thing. This is awesome. You can teleport to any tile you've been to before. The only problem with any tile you've been to before is you'd need to keep track of them, which I think would be difficult. However, I do like the thought that you could just teleport to any tile. That's cool. Let me paste this in and put your name on it. The 4-space cast in particular I kind of like. You must draw an alchemy circle here. In fact, let me smart object this so that I'm not reducing the resolution by scaling it. Alright. There we go. It's fun. I like games where you can break them in a way. You know? It could be 1v1. That's another way you could play it. You could totally have the Dungeon Master having their own monster rules where they have to Scrabble against you. Dithikins won the raid! Doig says, I think the hilarious element of this is played words in combo with attack patterns. Doig, you need to do me a diagram and send it to me, like Fnac did, so I understand what you mean. I like terrain effects like fire as well, where it's like you can just set your tile on fire and you might die. You might die. So I'm gonna write under your little section, Doig, also could be PPK and score equals number of map tiles passed plus artifacts, and then maybe plus letters left. Or something. Cone of goat is great. Yeah. Oh yeah, agreed. It's my first idea. Cone of goat. Cone of goat is good. Cone of goat is good. Bah! Goat, spew forth from your wand in a cone, piling on top of the enemy and burying it forever. Could you have a set number of movement counters and you put them down each turn? Yeah, you could. At the minute, my idea for movement is that you get one move, and then you can sacrifice a tile to move an extra. No. Actually, you know what? That doesn't punish them. Though, does it? Because you refresh your tiles as soon as you lose one. They would have to sacrifice a tile and not be able to get one back until their next turn, I think. Did you know today's VODs aren't available? Probably. I don't know. Are they not? Is that because we didn't stream yesterday? Let's see. What you saying, Ben? What you saying, Ben? It could be 1v1 player versus dungeon master, but competitive rather than actual D&D. It could be the amount of letters defines the shape of the attack. So 1 is a single tile, 2 is a line, 3 is a 3x3 square. Yeah, you could do it like that. You sure could. The dungeon master could place letters and be like, T is for traps! You've activated my trap tile! What was the name of the stab in the dark magic rule? Spell that. That's the name. Spell that. Maybe camp spaces on certain cards give a chance to refresh tiles. Oh, that's a nice idea. Camp spaces. Let's see. I need a room to put this. This is the tent. And this is a little fire. Camp spaces. Okay, if we have camp spaces, then I'm more okay with you losing tiles when you get hit by an attack. Because then it's more like Dark Souls, isn't it? We've done Dark Souls now. Which is just like... There will be places where you can refresh your tiles completely. Like, where you can gain back the tiles that you've lost. It's just that there's probably one like every 3 or 4 cards. So you have to make it to them. Refresh tiles you've lost. Blank tiles in Scrabble could be short rests. I like the fact that blank tiles in Scrabble can be any letter. I think that's powerful. It feels powerful when you get a blank tile in Scrabble, and I think it should feel powerful here too. I think it should be like, I can do anything! Imagine getting a blank tile in a chest and just being able to pull that anytime you want. That'd be pretty great. And this is Princess Pumpkin Pie. Could you tell me how the Scrabble bit comes into this? Yeah, so basically the Scrabble tiles are your attacks, or they're your magic. So just like in Scrabble, you get 7 letters at the beginning, you and the other players. And you use that in a combination with little spell cards you have to cast spells. So, for example, we've been using Cone of as an example. So you could spell Cone of Goat and cast Cone of Goat on an enemy, and it would come out in a cone, which would be detailed on the card, and it would be goats. And the amount of damage you would do to those enemies would be the score that you would get in Scrabble for that word. So it would be 5 for Cone of Goat. Pulls blank town. Unlimited cosmic power! Yeah, exactly. Like Ray of Fork. Exactly. Just a lot of fork. Well, one big fork in a cone. A huge fork comes out of the end of your wand and boomerangs towards your opponents, circling the room in a cone shape. But you could have certain enemies be weak to certain things, you know, which would be good. You know, it would encourage you to try and find words which would exploit that weakness, rather than just do fucking anything. I think the main problem is just like figuring out what is and isn't legal in terms of what words you can use with what spells. Weak to puns, weak to adjectives. The Cone of Beauty. Oh! Oh, that's so dumb. I like it. Weak to pronouns. They, them to death. Die. Adjectives could be buffs to existing spells. We should have a buff card where you can buff another player, since it's cooperative, right? Although I'm not sure how you would police those adjectives. Like, if someone gives you an adjective that just says, like, sexy, what do you do with that? How does that affect your spell? Yeah, I mean, I guess it just adds on to whatever spell you're doing, doesn't it? So it would be a ray of sexy fork. You laugh, says Doug. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And you get rid of tiles which you refresh, so you haven't technically lost anything. Okay, let me add that. So you would have like, what would you call your team member, your partner, like your, I'd just call it partner for now, since I can't think of the actual word. Partner buff. And then that would have to be an adjective. And then we'll use Ray of Forks. Ray of Forks becomes Ray of Giant Forks. Oh, it stopped snowing. The snow is stuck, which is nice. Cone of Werewolves! That's powerful. Oh yes, the word point totals are the mechanics. Oh, you're so right, Doig. You're so right. So that's a huge buff. But you can only do it if you have the card, which is nice because it limits. You can't just fucking do it every turn. Like, you have to have the card mechanically to do it. Increases score. Yes, that's a nice co-op team mechanic. I like that. You think in your mind it's co-op against dungeon, competitive with one another. Explain! The word bus reminds you of scribble notes. Fork, but with charisma. What about naughty words like Ben and himbo? I mean, I think they're legal. I'd like to see a code of himbo. But can you use proper nouns? Can you hit someone with a code of Steve? I think only if you know someone called Steve in real life. It's a house rule. Also, avoid TPK to lengthen the game, but the points of wordplay determine the win. Oh, so you actually also keep score of the words you've played overall? Oh. Dogs out here actually making my game good. But then why would you ever want to help buff your teammate? You kind of want them to die, right? Because then it's like, oh, you're dead and I'm gonna be able to get a bunch of points now and win. Like, what's the benefit to working together, really? When it's more beneficial to you if they just whiff it. Like, I could give you my giant so that you can have a ray of giant forks. Or I could hold it back and watch you get killed by this slime. And then I could cast Ray of Giants. So I'm putting a question mark after that because I feel like it kind of... If you have it so the players are competing against each other, then they have to have a reason to unite. And I feel like at the minute they don't really. It's the only advantage they have is if one isn't winning over the other. It's their score combined at the end. If it's not, if they're just competitive, there's literally no reason to ever use a buff card. Maybe it's a healer roll. Oh no, now we're putting rolls into it! No, that's too far. I mean, it's an awesome idea and it would probably make the end game better, but that's too much for me to wrap my brain around along with everything else right now. We'll table rolls and we'll come back to them. It'd be pretty funny, wouldn't it? You are a pyromancer. That's your role. And the only words that count for you are ones which involve fire. So you better make sure that every single thing you're casting is hot or heated. Maybe you can share points for buffs. Maybe, but it's still more advantageous for you to just not give them the word and then for you to use it. Because you end up where you started if you both get the exact same amount of points for it. Like, you may as well not have changed the status quo at all. Whereas if you just let them get killed by a slime, then, hey, now who can come out on top because I can score all these words while you're dead. Wordsmith, wordsmite, these are good. I feel like we're missing a trick not using spell in it though, since it's both magic and we're spelling things. Scorching, searing, molting, burning! Like, I think I know who you are. I think you're the pyromancer, aren't you? No! Are adjectives not allowed? They are in buffs. Spell check, that's pretty good. I'm telling you, make it dumb and easy to remember. Okay, alright, alright. Jeez. Listen, the name is the least important part. We could call it unusual magic. For all I care. So which matters most is the game. The game! So later enemies would do like more damage, right? Or have weird ranges. I think the enemies should have movement paths as well. I think they should just move one space continually until they hit a wall, and then go in the opposite direction. So I feel like the path for this slime would be this continually, and the path for this slime would be this continually. Because I think it just adds an extra element of strategy when you know that in one turn it's going to be somewhere else. Get 10 times points for using wizards in the game. Spell wizards, that's pretty good. I can't. You should call it spell wizards, but wizards is spelled wrong. Spell wizards. Spell grid goat hand door. Wizwords. Wizwords is damn good, Fnac. But it doesn't have spell in it. Wizwords is really good though. Holy shit. I'm gonna put it down on your tile. Wizwords. Magic Boys Go to College, the game. This is just their journey. Map in Terracotta says, trivia. Alchemical symbol for fire is a triangle, so that wizard token is already a pyro. Nice. Curse words. Oh my gosh. We should totally have a thing where curse words are curses. Right? If you use fuck, then it does something different than anything else does. Oh, is it already? Oh, spellbound, okay. I thought you meant wizwords was. Curse words. We just need to come up with a mechanic for curses now. That's perfect, Doig. Doig, you're a genius. Weak to curses. Yeah, you just have to swear at them until they die. Oh, that'd be so funny. Ah, I like that. Cone of fuck. Cone of giant fuck. That shouldn't be as funny as it is. Have curses have a chance of backfiring. Oh, that's not a bad idea as well. Dogster says, dude, I think we're just inventing an incredible game together. Come back soon so we can make it. We need to paper prototype this and then play it on stream to troubleshoot all the crap things about it so we can try and make it good. So, who was it who said a chance of backfiring? That was Princess Pumpkin Pie. I'll just put Princess PP for now because I know your name, so you know. Chance of backfiring, and it fits without me having to write super small. Weak to curses is great. Some enemies, like if the boss was weak to curses, I'd laugh. Yeah, no, you can never play this game on screen, you'll get demonetized. Cone of Clod. Curse words debuffing was also suggested. Let me see, who suggested that? Is that Nap in Terracotta? Let's have a look. Nothing. Oh, sorry. What debuff? With curse. Summon DeVito. I'd love that. Summons could be cool. Oh, I'm getting too ahead of myself now. It's way too complex. But imagine if you summoned something, the summon has the HP that the word score was, and they just stand there and attack one on your turn, every turn for you. Like a little decoy. You could have a DeVito decoy. He just stands there and he attacks for you. Let me put summon in as a suggest. You summon a fork and it just doesn't do anything. Or it's a giant sentient fork that does attack for you. Summons is good. Summon. HP equals word score. 1 attack per round. I think you must make what Kurzak suggested, the Moscow thing. Wait, what Moscow thing? What Moscow? I think I missed it. Oh, do you guys want me to? But I'll try and workshop a combat system. If we get this brainstorm sheet in Discord somewhere, I'd appreciate it. If you guys want to like actually help brainstorm this thing and make the game with us, then I could totally put this in the peg bar. I could make a little room just for the game jam. We might actually already have a room for game jams, but if we don't, I could make a little room for it and just pop it in. I'm going to be working the rest of the day, but I can always pick up messages and stuff and check things out tomorrow or later on today. Let's see, to help prioritize what you need, Moscow must have, should have, could have, would have. What your game must have the function, what your game should have the added fun factor. Okay. So are the O's in there just for like, to make it into a word? Okay, let me write that down. I'm gonna just turn this off for a sec. We'll put Moscow. Must have. Should have. Could have. Would have. So absolute necessities. So we'll start with just getting those absolutely like squared away and solid. Should have. Makes it more fun. Yeah, just clarifying aim for it and structure since you missed earlier, I think. Oh! Says Doig. I'm not quite sure what you mean, but you're probably saying something that adds on to something you said earlier. Hey little girl, stop attacking me. Stop it. What's the difference between could have and would have? So absolute necessities are like map, player, and then the core loop of the game, which is spells, which means we also have to have enemies. If we can make a little dungeon and just get through it in a fun way, then that's it. And then makes it more fun is all the variations we can add to those. beautiful lady who sits on top of my chair. Hello. Hello. Well, I said that I would stop half an hour ago, and then we just kept firing ideas. I think the ideas are really fun though. I'm having fun, even if the game comes out shit. It's a lot of fun just to think about how to make something and to brainstorm it. Would have are things wanted if the project had more time. Okay. If had more time. I'm assuming could have is additional additions within the time frame. Would have is additions that could be achieved within the time frame. Could have. So I'll put like optional expansion. Of stuff. Would have could also be considered polish. Okay, I'll put polish after this. Polish. I'd also actually put this under the polish category. But yeah, getting just the very basics of, okay, if we boil our game down to the absolute basics, it's casting spells with Scrabble tiles to get from the beginning to the end of a map. So if we just focus on making that work first, and then we can try all the other stuff. You see, Thor says do a game design document before you start building, but I think in terms of this game, it's going to require us to actually like build a few paper prototypes to even see if it's like worth doing a game design document for. Because I feel like I could do a game design document and then start building and be like, oh, wait, oh, this completely doesn't work like I thought it would in the game design document. But if we build a few paper prototypes first, we'll learn what works and what doesn't work about it, and then we can reflect that in the actual document. Oh, see you, Kozak. Yeah, I gotta go too. Who are we raiding? We're raiding, what's it? Who was it we're gonna raid? Oh, we're raiding Pirate Software. Sorry, did the person you guys voted for go offline? My bad. Sorry. But yeah, we'll raid Pirate Software. And everybody, I guess the raid call is Cone of Goats. I cast Cone of Goats. Doig, thank you. Aw, Doig said good stream. When it eventually got working, it was good. But I had a lot of fun brainstorming with you guys and trying to figure out a stupid game. Cone of Goats! I cast Cone of Goats! Cone of Fuck. I was considering saying Cone of Fuck, but I was like, maybe I shouldn't just go into his stream swearing. Aw, Doig, much loves to you too. I hope you have a nice couple more days there. Give Harley lots of pets from me. And I'll give the cats lots of pets from you. I don't know how to make the raid go, so I just have to sit here until it's done. Okay, have a great time, and may the rest of your day be full of adventure! Hey VOD Squad, I have to leave! But thank you very much for hanging out. You guys are rad. I'm gonna give this a save, and then I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye!